Shortbread cookies by 𝙸𝚗𝚎𝚗𝚑. Shortbread cookies recipe. My recipe is also in the description down below. You want to start by preheating your oven to 350 F or 177. You're watching Baker's Explosion. You want to start by taking softened butter, you want to add your salt, and you want to whisk it up. I'm using a hand blender because it gives a very nice airy consistency, and it also blends evenly and I don't need to do a lot of work. Once that's done, you want to start by taking your confectioner sugar or powdered sugar, and you want to take small quantities and mix that in and blend it amazingly. You want to continue by again adding your confectioner sugar. You could also use powdered sugar, just a reminder. And you just want to mix that again and just get it perfectly done. Also, many people get confused when they hear confectioner sugar. Confectioner sugar is nothing very amazing or expensive or anything. It's just a bit of cornstarch mixed with powdered sugar. So if you don't have confectioner sugar, you don't need to buy it. If you have cornstarch, just take a little cornstarch, like 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and you can use it with powdered sugar. Now I am taking my vanilla extract and I am mixing it with my lovely sugar mixture with my butter. Right now you should be having a very airy buttercream type of a texture and consistency. Once you've got that, you want to take your hand blender, and once you take your hand blender, you want to take some flour. You can add a few tablespoons at a time so that it gets mixed evenly. So you want to start mixing that up and just continue mixing until it gets a very nice consistency. Once you have a nice airy consistency, you again can start adding your flour and mix it. Once your flour is nicely mixed evenly and done, this time I used a spatula and not my hand blender because I just felt like using my spatula would just be better. Because sometimes your shortbread crust or your shortbread can kind of just fly because they're tiny bits and pieces. So until they are combined, they are very tricky to work with. Also, a few tips that I have for y'all. If your dough is dry like mine, you can start by adding 2 or 3 tablespoons of milk or water to your dough to make it smooth and nice. Right now I added some milk to my dough, and this is how it is. It's supposed to be like this. So once it's like this, you just want to start kneading it up so you kind of get it nice and well combined. And you want to knead, you want to basically knead for 3 to 4 minutes. It's kind of long for cookies, but for shortbread it's something really important because it's very important for your shortbread to nicely mix and get combined. Otherwise it can break into tiny pieces. So once it's nicely kneaded like mine, you're set to go. You can start just making it into a rectangle. You want to hit the sides like what I'm going to be doing now. So you want to start by hitting the sides, making a roll, and just kind of getting your sides nicely so you get a little nice slab. Once you get the slab, you want to straighten it a bit and you want to kind of get it flat. So once it's nice and beautifully flat, well, you're good to go. But if you have any type of cuts or anything, you will have to redo your thing. I noticed mine had a bit of cuts, so I had to redo my thing and I just kneaded it a bit again and made the slab again. So once that's done, you're just gonna stretch it up a bit your sides a little even, just make sure everything's good. You want to keep that aside for a minute, grab a plate and put your dough in the refrigerator for at least 1 hour. Once that's done, you want to take a rolling pin and start rolling out your dough. You want to roll it out into a rectangle, and you want to keep at least like half a margin of like you want to keep it half a bit tall, like half a centimeter tall, and you want to just mix and cut, like roll it evenly. Now you want to start cutting the sides, and just keep the dough that you cut for the sides, because we'll again be using that to make more rectangles. I don't know why I said triangles. So you want to just make your dough nice and even. It's fine if they are just a little tiny bits come out. You just want to get that in and keep it consistent. Now just take the other dough, roll it into a ball and keep it aside. Now take half an inch or 1 inch gap, and you want to start cutting your doughs. They should be like mine. So you kind of make them into like biscuits now. So you can say like biscuits or cookies, whatever you like. So once you're done cutting all of them, or most of them, well, yeah, cut all of them and start arranging them in the side. Don't forget to leave some space between the cookies, because they'll need a little space to breathe and stuff. Now take your other part of your dough that we made into a ball, and you want to just basically start rolling that out and making it into a rectangle again. You want to again start rolling your extra dough into a ball, and you can use the rolling pin like I did, but I noticed that mine got really thin, so I just stretched it up, made it into like those snakes that you call, and just cut the sides, made it a little even, and it kind of became like a rectangle, and I just cut in the middle so I get smaller pieces. Now you want to start layering them on parchment paper. Don't forget to leave some space between each cookie. That's really important. And once you're done layering all of them, you can just take that, maybe like a toothpick, or you could also use a fork. I used a toothpick because I just wanted to make tiny holes, just like what shortbreads have. So these cookies usually are made in rectangles and have dots in them, or like holes. So I'm doing original of them, so I did it like that. But you could also use your dough, and instead of making them into rectangles, you can use them and like use cookie cutters and make them into really cute shapes. So I'm just using a toothpick and creating patterns that came into my mind at that time, and I'm just doing them to all of my cookies. Now I'm just on my last cookie, and yeah, well, I'm done. I'm just taking that tiny bit, making it into a ball, and just rolling it out because I don't want to lose my cookie and stuff. So now you want to bake it for 10 minutes, and you want to keep rotating your sheet in the oven. And well, yeah, my cookies just got baked and out of the oven. They go really well with coffee and tea, so amazing for snacks. Thanks for watching. Don't forget forget to like and